Welcome back. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed there's an extra interviewee in this part of the programme. He is one Paul Miller, who was a stalwart at the back with Graham Roberts in that winning Spurs side of the late 70s, early 80s. And before Paul talks, and he will talk for quite some time, I'd like to ask Ossie to put him and Graham Roberts and maybe some of the lesser-sung heroes of that Spurs side into perspective. What did they do for the team?
Well, we were having problems defensively. For all the good football that we were having, say, from midfield to forward, the team is starting to need a little bit more, and suddenly the difference with the team, say, of the late 80s, with the beginning of the 80s, it was the change people up front, Steve Archibald and Gus Crook coming very much into the fore, and people in the back, Graham Roberts and Paul. So we were much more secure defensively, and of course we have more power up front. So the midfield, of course, was always good, so no need to change there, and suddenly we become them a very good team.
We were talking just at the end of the first part about poor results. 7-0 against Liverpool has to be classified as a poor result. You reckon that run gave you your chance?
Well, it did. We lost that game, and then we lost 5-0 at home to Arsenal on Boxing Day. And I think Keith then started to think that the very good reserve side that we had, and we were walking away with a combination for, I think, the third year on the trot, and we had some terrific youngsters and decided to blood some of us. And so those two results helped us enormously. And I think Keith was forced to play a number of us because obviously the club didn't have the funds. And, these great youngsters. I used to knock on Keith's door every Friday and drive him mad. I can't repeat what he used to tell me where to go, but eventually, I did get my chance, and so did a number of others. And just, as an indication, we won the cup. We had 7 out of 12 who really were homegrown.
Spare his blushes. I asked him earlier on what effect he thought he and Ricky had on Tottenham Hotspur, and English football, if you like. What was it like to be there when these two turned up?
Oh, it was amazing. We'd watch the World Cup, we'd then read the papers, and they're on their way and they're there. And it transformed the club. Tottenham was always a great big club and very traditional and a great history, but we hadn't done anything for a number of years since the early 70s. And for us boys, coming in, it completely revolutionised the club. Certainly the wages went up. Commercially, we were invited all around the world, so we're getting money. Money was a big thing. We were getting more money, and we were more in demand. We started getting things like sponsored cars, which had never happened before. The kit, and everybody wanted to be associated with Tottenham, and it was a fantastic time to be there. And every day there'd be dozens of journalists from all over the world, just not just England on a normal Friday thing. And we all of a sudden we were somebody, and it was just a case of getting it right, getting the mixture right, and us getting used to Ossie and Ricky, and them getting used to us. And obviously the climate. I remember the first time it snowed. Ricky had never seen snow before, and he said, "No, we'll go home now." He said, "No, we actually train, Ricky," and he couldn't believe we were going to train in the snow. He must have gone out there about 5 tops on, and but it was a culture change, and but it was great. And Ossie and Ricky adapted so quickly and learnt to do the football language also very quickly. And they were fantastic.
Football language? What do you mean by football language?
I think the industrial language that we all know that it goes on in those shop floors, and it certainly did in football those days. Probably today it's a bit different because they've got so many languages in the dressing room, but with us we taught them about the Mickey taking and the wind-ups and how we speak to each other, and they immediately become part of our family, and that's really what it was.